Well, after looking at this wheel a little closer with the crack, I see what went wrong. I thought maybe the thing took an impact, but I started to realize that if it took an impact, it would have actually cracked on the spokes. I actually had a friend crack one last week. He slid in the ice and actually broke a couple of spokes off a modern day wheel. But after seeing that the crack is right between the two lug nuts and in between these two spokes, I decided to look it over. And this is what I find. Right here and right here. When whoever put this on the car, I don't know if it was the last time it was on the car, I can't even tell you. When it was put on the car, there was probably a bolt head or rivet or whatever it was sticking up. This lug and this lug was tightened down. This pushed this way and it caused it to put a split in the actual wheel. I can't find any splits in the spokes or actually any other damage to it. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this wheel. The wheel probably isn't even unsafe, because like I said, the load actually goes from the spokes to the lug through here. You could probably take this section out. I mean, to a point. I mean, I'm not going to get ridiculous, but I might actually just have a little V put in it, a weld across it, and then just smooth it down. Because, you know, I'd hate to get rid of the wheel. Obviously, I went back on eBay to find the guy, and he doesn't have anything posted. I emailed him. I don't expect to get a response from him. It has been a while. I did buy these wheels in September. And like I said, the bolt pattern's wrong, which never... in the beginning it bothered me, but then I had bought these adapters for the front of the wagon, which I wound up never using, which is 4.5 to 4 3/4. So, in the car that they're going on, the inch that these space out is definitely not a problem. I think from the edge of the tire to the wheel well lip is like 6 inches. So, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm probably going to be stuck with these wheels. Well, I'm definitely going to be stuck with these wheels. I don't think I'm going to find another one, because he also told me they were made by ET, but I can't find the brand name on these wheels. I mean, I find everything else on the wheel. You know, I find all the writing on the wheel. I find the size 14 made in the USA. I find all the stuff on the wheel. I've looked inside here. I've looked in the spokes. I've looked inside the actual rim of the wheel. I can't find anything. And I remember ET always putting their name like in the front lip here and places like that. Like the Fentons I have say Fenton across here. My Ansons said it in here as well as the label inside. Even the American Racings that I have on my other car, it's all cast in here. So I don't know if these are just no names from who knows when. I mean, even if you look at this pattern, you could see that it's also made to be drilled as a 4-bolt, because you got here, 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 and then here. So these things are really universal, or were universal. And like I said, if you didn't put it on with that on there, it would have been fine. So when I spit it on the machine, the wheel is true. The worst set of wheels I've had for the aluminum slots were definitely my Ansons. The Ansons were machined so poorly on the backside that when you put them on the lathe to spin them, the lathe actually hopped. But the rim was perfectly true. So they took their time on the front. All this was correct, but the actual thickness of the back was like from like this to like this, and the wheel would actually hop. And you'd have to put so much weight on there, it was ridiculous. So I sold the Ansons and I went with the Fentons. Well, that's about it. Like I said, I'm going to see what I'm going to do. This really showed up as I sanded it, because when it spun around, it left all the debris on one side of the crack. So that's when I really started to spot it. Because as you see, if you look, I mean, if you really look at it, you know it's cracked. You could see it here, but you could see the debris line right here, because I was sanding it in this direction. So it left a dirt edge. So, like I said, I don't see anything in these spokes. Spokes are pretty hefty, and there's no impact on it. So we're gonna have to see. Here's some before or after. I cleaned the rim with 220, 320, Scotch-Brite, and then Scotch-Brite with Mother's Metal Polish mixed in the Scotch-Brite pad. And you can see the before and after. And like I said, this rim is cracked, so I got the experiment on it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. You can see from here. But that's the finish that it's supposed to have. They're not supposed to be polished. They're supposed to be like a satin. Okay? And like I said, the rim isn't perfect either, the way I did it. Because how much time are you really going to spend on a car that's used as, you know, like a swap meet ride, and it's going to sit out in the weather and whatever it is, you know? It's not like one of my cars that sit in the garage here and whatever, and the rims are really nice. So the rims were inexpensive, and like I said, I know the guy's not going to give me my money back, so I'll see what I'm going to do. I might just have this one welded, and then I'll just clean it down and rebuff it in the center and call it done. So I'm definitely not buying another set of rims for the Concord. I'm only using these because these are left over from projects, along with the other ones I'm going to use. So we'll see what happens. Next I got to make center caps, and this is what I was thinking of using. I have one I could use for mock-up, and I have two other brand new ones. They're actually aluminum. I think they're some kind of pipe cap. I'm not really sure. They were given to me. Really light, really thin. What I was thinking of doing is, they will fit in here with a nice press fit. What I'm going to do is, on AMC, the axles actually stick up, but they will be adapted, so I think they're only going to stick through like maybe that much, and that's how far this is going to stick up. So it might actually only stick up a little bit, and I'll shorten it and I'll peen the sides around where it's rounded over, and I think that'll actually be a pretty cool look. It almost looks like the hub of a four-wheel drive Jeep. But like I said, it's going to be much shorter than that. Maybe an inch tall instead of, I would say that's 4 inches tall. So we'll see what happens. Okie doke.